finished all of the Christmas gifts. That felt great. I'm really happy that I got to finish them before Christmas this year. Its sleeve openings have just seemed huge, and now that I've started a sleeve, I'm pretty sure the sleeves are huge. And this is my Christmas cast on. Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Oline and I'm a knitter from Norway, and welcome to my knitting podcast. Here I talk about all things knitting, my current projects, finished projects, planned projects, my yarn stash, anything that pops into my head while I sit here and chat with y'all. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with me. This is going to be the very last podcast of the year, and I'm really excited to finish off this year. It's been a great year, both in terms of knitting and everything else. So it's been a really fun year, but I want to get into this last week of knitting. But before that, I want to chat about what I'm wearing, and in kind of honor of it being Christmas, I'm wearing my Christmas dress. This I made a bit over a year ago. I finished this the 23rd of December last year, and this was my Christmas dress last year, and it was my Christmas dress this year as well. It is the Augustins number 16 by Augustins.dk, and that's a really great pattern to work from if you're interested in getting a dress, because it is a sweater pattern, but it has this part, but it just stops here. So the only modification I made to this really was continuing knitting it instead of casting off here. No extra increases, nothing, and I also didn't do the frill around here or the belt here, so I didn't add anything except for length, and I actually skipped a few steps because I did not have time, because I finished this really late on the 23rd, and since I've used it for a year and I haven't really felt it has lacked anything, so I've also decided to just not add them in later, because I think it has enough going on without it, with the collar and the big skirt and everything. But I really love this dress. It's great. I'm also really happy that I have a knit woolly dress for Christmas, because Christmas is quite cold, especially when we go kick sledding to church. I'm really happy that I have a wool dress. This is knit in Flora and kid silk, so it is Flora is alpaca and wool, and then the kid silk is mohair and silk. So this is a really warm combination of yarn, and I also think the Flora and the kid silk work really well together. I love the color they created. I also just love the silhouette. This has the big statement sleeves that go into a tinier cuff, which makes it a lot easier when you're going to eat, so you don't have this big poof all the way down. This that is more like tight fitting, and then a big poofy skirt, which really is fun when you twirl around. Love this dress. It's going to be my Christmas dress forever, I think, and it's so great to just have a decided Christmas outfit every year. But yeah, that is my Christmas dress, and that's what I'm wearing today. But now I think we can get into what I've been knitting on the last week. And even though this year I've knit a lot, I think this might be one of the weeks where I've knit the least. And that was kind of surprising to me, because I thought that with first all of the Christmas deadlines and the gift knits and everything I wanted before Christmas, that was kind of going to kick me into gear and speed up my knitting, but turns out at that point I was kind of tired of all of the deadlines. I've been knitting on a deadline for quite some time, all of December and really a lot of time before as well. So I was kind of over it. I also ended the Christmas gift marathon by first I knit 2 socks identical socks in a row, the Sunday sock pairs. That was last week and the week before. And then this week I knit 2 pairs of autumn cabled mittens. And I don't think that was my best idea to do identical intricate projects as my last ones. For next year, not going to do that. If I'm going to make identical patterns, I'm going to put some projects in between them. But I did get through everything. I did finish everything. Really happy about that. But with that being said, we can get into this week, and I think we'll actually start with what I finished, because I have already kind of been talking about that. So first up this week, I actually finished my son's matching cardigan to my dress. I've had scraps from this for quite some time, since I didn't do the frill, didn't do the belt. I also get more yarn than I need to every time, because I'm not about to play yarn chicken on important projects. So I've used the scraps to make him a cardigan. This is inspired by the teddy bear sweater by Petiteknit, and I've made it into a cardigan, which wasn't really a problem at all. I had to think a bit at the start, right when I cast on, but after that it has really been seamless. I made one quite big mistake though when I separated the sleeves and put 3 stitches from the body into this sleeve, but it's not noticeable. I'm really happy that this is on quite small needles, because 3 stitches on 4mm needles is I think it's about a centimeter maybe, and you really can't tell. So I'm really happy about that. He used this for most of Christmas, and yeah, I really couldn't tell. If you had just asked me while he was wearing it, I could not tell you which sleeve had the problem, and you also can't see it in the body underneath the sleeve with the problem, so I'm really happy about that. I did finish this last Friday, which left me with quite a lot of time before Christmas, so I should have been able to wash it, but I did not weave in the ends on this until Christmas morning. We celebrate on Christmas Eve on the 24th. That's when I wove in ends, so did not have time to wash it, but I did have some issues with the button band kind of curling up and just bunching up, so I did iron this really quickly with what's it called, with like steaming as well. I did that on both sides of the button band, first on this side, and then I put it inside out and did it on that side. And while this still probably would benefit from a wash, it really helped the button band. I don't know if you can see, but it really does not bunch up or curl up or anything now. So iron really comes in clutch when you're bad at planning ahead and very good at procrastinating. That might have been one of the best additions to my knitting this year, to get the iron, because that's really saved me a lot. But yeah, this is my son's teddy bear cardigan. It's in the size 5 to 6 years, so I won't have to stress about another Christmas outfit for him for years, at least not the knitting part of it. He also enjoyed it. I really enjoyed us matching, so I'm really happy about this one. And of course it's in the same yarns as my dress, so this is in Flora and Kid Silk. And then after that I did finish 2 other projects. I don't have them with me here because they're given away, but I did finish 2 pairs of autumn cabled mittens, both in Drops Lima in the color Almond, and both in the size regular female. I don't know what the sizes are called in English, but they're called Vanlig Dame in Norwegian, which is the biggest size in the pattern. Finished both of those. The first one I finished on the 22nd and gifted away on the 23rd, and then the second pair I finished on the 24th in the car leaving home. I tried my best to finish before, couldn't make it happen, so I did not wrap the last pair and I did not weave in ends, but I was able to give it away. And the last pair I also gave away to my sister, So she has a lot of people that can help her weaving ends, both my mom and my grandma and probably me, but I don't want to do it. So finished all of the Christmas gifts. That felt great. I'm really happy that I got to finish them before Christmas this year. It's the first year I've been able to do that since I started giving away knit Christmas gifts. So I'm actually really happy with that, even if it was super stressful and it put me behind on all other things I was supposed to do. I'm really happy I just powered through and got that done. And it's also been really fun because for everyone we have gifted knits to, everyone has been really grateful. They've texted and said thank you. We've met them and they've been over the moon about it. So that makes it even better. I really enjoy giving away knits almost anyways, but them being appreciated makes it that much better. And I definitely notice how much the different people appreciate it, and that definitely affects who gets the biggest or most amount of knits and gifts throughout the year, because the more knit worthy you are, the more likely you're going to get knits from me. But yeah, everyone was really grateful, so that definitely made it worth it. I also got pictures of almost everything. I did not get pictures of the last pair of the autumn cable mittens, but since I made 2 of those, I didn't really need 2 pictures. But I'll put in all of the pictures of all of the Christmas gifts here. They're not together because I had to kind of ship them at different times and give them away at different times, but I took pictures when I could, and yeah, I got them all gifted, so really happy about that. And then after that, I've knit more on my other knits, and first we'll start with my oldest whip, which is the wedding dress. Thank you so much for everyone who has sent me messages over on Instagram yelling at me to knit on it, and for everyone in the comments yelling at me to knit on it. It's been great because it's actually reminded me about the wedding dress, but amidst everything Christmassy, I have not actually knit on it, but I have very much appreciated being yelled at, and that has helped. Just with the wedding dress actually staying at the front of my mind. So please continue doing that if you want to. But this week is it. I'm actually going to knit on it. I can feel like I'm actually motivated this week, and it just feels more likely that I'm going to this week. But yeah, that's it for the wedding dress. Haven't touched it. But the next oldest project is this. I do have some other projects but haven't worked on them. As I said, this week I've knit maybe the least I've knit this year. But this is my Christmas sweater, and I made a fair bit of progress since last week. I think this whole turtleneck has happened since last week, which I'm really happy about. This turtleneck, I have tried it on 2 times now since finishing the turtleneck, and I love how it feels, I love how it looks. So this is rough, but I think after washing that I'm going to really love this turtleneck, which I'm really excited about because I do love turtlenecks and how they look. I just haven't loved them for myself, but I think this is going to change that. And then I have knit a fair bit on the body, and I've also started a sleeve last night because these sleeve openings have just seemed huge, and now that I've started a sleeve, I'm pretty sure the sleeves are huge and they're just too big, which means that I'm going to need to frog. I did take a video of me trying it on just now before this, so please let me know what you think. Should I frog? Because that would mean frogging back the whole body a bit. I don't know how much, but yeah, probably frogging a couple of centimeters into the yoke, maybe 2 or 3 or something centimeters on both sides, which made it would be a lot of frogging, but I think it would be worth it because this sleeve is just huge and I don't love the way it fits either. It's not that necessarily the sleeve is too big either. It's just very big compared to the positive ease on the rest of the body. So yeah, I'm leaning towards frogging. I might have already frogged by the time you watch this, to be honest, just because I'm really eager to get the move on. I had originally wanted to finish this on Christmas Day or the day after, and now we're even after that because I just haven't had time. But I do really want to finish this during the holidays, before the new year. I do have a lot of knits I want to finish before the new year, but I think it would be very fitting to finish my Christmas sweater while it's still Christmas. And of course having to frog so much will set me back, so I want to just get it over with as soon as possible. But I would love to hear what you think, if I should frog or not. I'm probably also going to ask over on Instagram, because I feel I kind of get a bit in my own head since I'm designing it, and yeah, it's hard to make up my mind myself, so I'm going to see if I can get some secondhand opinions. But yeah, I might also just work on the wedding dress until tomorrow, so I can kind of get your verdict on what I'm going to do with this. But I think it's going to get frogged, which is a bit annoying, but I'm glad I decided to stop and do the sleeves now, so I didn't finish the whole body before I discovered that. And I have had a nagging suspicion that this was where it was headed, since the armholes were looking so big. But at least the sleeves will be a quicker progress if I frog now and they turn out smaller, so that's at least something. But yeah, that's my Christmas sweater for now. This is about 2 skeins of the Ask Hillesvåg. It's a crazy long running yarn. I love it. I love the feeling, love working with it. It's the perfect amount of rustic, and this color as well. I am super excited about it. If you can't tell, I'm obsessed with red. This dress was what started that out, and since I've added this dress to my closet, I think I've added 3 or 4 red sweaters, and yeah, I'm just really into red ever since I knit this and found out that I just really love wearing red. But that's it for the Christmas sweater. I must say that this sleeve turning out so big kind of made me lose a bit of motivation, but it's probably going to be back. And then my last project that I've been working on this week is a project you can't really tell what it is. At least my fiance definitely could not tell what it is. He's looking at it and just judging me for telling him it's a sweater because he does not believe it. But yeah, this is my Christmas cast on. This is going to be the Charlie Pullover by Morecaknit. This yarn was originally intended for the Elizabeth blouse, but I've had some slight issues with Petiteknit and how her patterns fit me. I love her for kids clothing, but I am struggling a bit with how her patterns fit me. And I also loved knitting the last Morecaknit pattern I knit, the Paul cardigan. And also I just want to branch out. That's one of my goals in 2025, to knit from more different designers. So I decided instead of the Elizabeth blouse to do the Charlie Pullover. I've also heard great, what would you call, I've had this pattern recommended to me. It's had great reviews, so I'm really excited. And already I've done this much. It's honestly nothing, but I've had so much fun. I have had to frog once because of course I can't go a full week without making a big mistake, but it's been so much fun. It's had the best construction. I've felt like challenged all the time, but in a great way. So I started by doing Judy's Magic cast on, and then I knit this part down here, which I'm going to continue knitting from later. The yarn is still on, and now I'm doing the collar, which is a double knit collar with German short rows and increases, so that's quite hard and I have to look at the pattern all of the time, so haven't made that much progress. This also is a construction that's taking me forever to do, but it's so fun, and I just keep looking at the pattern and reading ahead and being so excited for everything that's going to come later on. So I'm super excited about this. It's super fun, and if you can't tell, this is a continuation of my red face, and yeah, I think it's going to be amazing. I'm really excited. This is great because it's a Christmas cast on and it's red and very festive colored, but I've also had this yarn amongst my yarn plans and knitting plans for both spring and summer and fall knits, so I think this fits all seasons. It might not fit the like January to April season the best, because that's where I feel like just dark colors and color work fit, but other than that I think this fits everything. So I'm really excited about this, and I think based on the construction and how the fits looks and the color and everything, that I'm going to get a lot of use out of this. So yeah, I'm just super excited, but this is definitely not the main priority. And I also love for my Christmas cast on to follow me throughout the New Year's and the first month of the year as kind of a bridge between the 2 years. So not stressing about getting this done, just really eager to work on it. But of course, the wedding dress, the Christmas sweater, a lot of other things take precedence above this. So yeah, I'm just excited about this, and it's really fun to be super excited about a knitting project, but it's not a main priority. It can't be, but I'm excited to get back to it and to get further on it so you can actually see it looking like something. But yeah, those are my active projects. They are my finished projects. As you can see, I haven't been able to do that much this week, but I have knit some, I've finished some things, I have woven ends as I've gone, so I'm really happy with everything I've been able to squeeze in this week. But yeah, this is definitely going to be a bit of a shorter episode podcast, because there's just not that much time, but I thought we could at least weave in the last few ends. I have this and this one left this year, and then my basket of shame is no longer a basket of shame, it's just a basket that I can start using for things again, which I'm really excited about. But I'll have to go grab my needle and we can finish weaving in ends on this, and then I'll be done weaving in ends probably for the year, unless I finish something, but at least I'll be done with the basket of shame. So I'm going to go get my needle. I've got my needle and my scissors, so let's get started. I think this might be the last podcast where the background looks exactly like this, because we are nearing in on the new year. The next podcast will be the new year, and I love taking some time when it turns into new year to go through my stash, look at everything in it. I think that's very needed. The last time I went through my stash, the stash was so big that I'm pretty sure that I have overlooked some things. So I'm really ready to go through my stash, rediscover what's in there, get re-inspired, and also reorganize it, because even though I try my best to keep my stash organized, it always ends up not being that organized, because I take a skein here and a skein there, and then the way it was organized just does not make sense anymore when a couple of the skeins disappear. So I think it will be great to go through the stash again, get everything in order again. I'm also, now that I'm done with Christmas, I'm starting to think about my Christmas plans. This has been my kind of Christmas mood board with yarn and the things I've been wanting to knit during this season, but now we are going into more of like the just winter season, so I'm starting to think about everything I want to make during winter, and I think it will be great to go through my stash now to see what I want to plan for winter, because I am still going to try to stash bust through next year as well. It didn't go that well this year, so we're going to do it next year as well. And I think looking through your stash and kind of shopping your own stash and getting re-inspired by your stash is the best way to go, because when I just look at my stash the same way for months and months and months, it doesn't inspire me as much as when it's freshly organized. So I think that will be very helpful. I'm also excited to just go through, as I go through my stash, I'm also going to go through my knitted wardrobe and look at everything I made this year. I love wrapping the year up and looking at summaries and how much did I knit and comparing it to other years. I just think the end of the year is a really fun time, so I'm really excited for all of that. I think that's it done actually. I've woven in all of the ends and now I only have this one left, which this has a lot of ends, so I'm not super excited, but it will be great once it's done and I can add it into the gift drawer. I'm also excited because this year I'm going to be doing a lot of gift knits again for babies. It's kind of like every other year I do a lot of gift knits, because that's kind of how it has lined up, that we have new babies in the family or friend group. So as I'm going through the stash, I'm going to be sorting out different kind of baby knits as well, sorting it by the person I'm giving it to, just general baby things I want to knit. So I'm really excited about all of the opportunities I'm going to get to knit different kind of things. And yeah, it's just fun to look at loads of yarn, but it usually takes me a couple of days every time I do it, because I like to start by pulling everything down and going through it and then putting it back up, and then the first time I put it back up I don't like the way it looks, and yeah, it's a lot, but it's always very fun once it's done. So I'm really excited about that. I would love to hear any like suggestion when it comes to baby knits. I do have a few favorites that every baby in my life gets, but as I said, in 2025 I'm trying to branch out, knit from different designers, knit new to me patterns, not just to do Petiteknit for everyone. So I'm excited to do that as well, branch out. I'm probably going to try to get better at using Ravelry, because that seems like a great way to find different patterns. On Instagram I just feel like the most popular thing gets pushed, so I don't really see anything else than Petiteknit and Knitting for Olive and those big designers. So hopefully I'll get better at using Ravelry. I still think it's a bit difficult to understand, but I think that's just user error on my part, and I think it will get better if I just continue trying. But yeah, let's see this. I'm almost done with this, and I don't know what I'm going to knit on after this, because I just want to knit on the Christmas sweater and get that done. So part of me just wants to continue knitting on it, and then part of me wants to just rip it out, get it over with. And I do really have the feeling that ripping it out would make a sweater I would be the most happy with and wear the most. So I kind of just want to do that. I kind of want to wait and hear what everyone else has to say, if there are some other suggestions or if you think it looks fine. And then I do really want to work on my Christmas custom, but I should work on the wedding dress, so I can't decide. Also, the wedding dress is a quite hard knit to work on anywhere else than like at home, very stationary, because that is just so big and white, and yeah, it's just not the easiest thing to knit on a bit here and there, which is probably why ever since it grew big it hasn't really been worked on that much. When it was just the top, it was easy to just knit on a bit here and there. When it was just a tiny bit of the skirt it was easier, but now it's just so big. It's hard to work on in the couch almost, because it surrounds all of me. I get drowned by the wedding dress, but yeah, hopefully this week will be the week where it finally gets prioritized again. I really think so, because I am motivated to try to at least get as much progress as possible before New Year's on all of my knits, honestly, because my dream would be to clear my needles from everything except my Christmas cast on, but that's just not going to happen this year. Hopefully I'll learn from this year and the stress of everything, that next year I'll start earlier with Christmas gifts and maybe do a bit less. I could do some other Christmas gifts than just knit ones. I have already been testing out a few different recipes for things I think I maybe could do instead of knits for Christmas next year. That will hopefully help free up some of my time. But yeah, now I'm on the next to last, and I'm really excited to get my basket back as well. I've already a plan for what I'm going to use it for. I'm going to put the yarn for what I hope to knit that week inside the basket, and that will kind of remind me what I want to knit that week, and to kind of keep me accountable to actually knit on what I'm supposed to that week or month, instead of just knitting on whatever I feel like at that moment, because while it's fun to knit that way, it can be a bit stressful, because I'm not that great at thinking ahead in time, and then I end up stressed at the last moment. So I think planning ahead and keeping myself accountable with that basket will be great. And I think that anyways, I always plan to do more than I'm able to, so it will probably be overfilled with a ton of different projects, so I'll still have the opportunity to choose between projects, just at a more controlled rate. But yeah, that's the last thing woven in ends on. I think I finished this in September or something of last year, so it's great to have that done. Probably my most shameful finished object without the ends woven in, but that's all. That's all for this year, actually. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this last year of knitting. I've had so much fun chatting to you all. I hope you've had fun being here with me as well. If you did, please leave a like and a comment. That means the absolute world to me. And if you want to be here next year as well, please subscribe. Bye!